Hey, hey,
Hello, everyone.
what up? What up?
Same old, same old.
What's going on? You have EBD in the building, Empowered by Disadvantages. Our next episode, I believe this is our third episode. We happy to be back. We didn't want to be away too long, so we're gonna give a shout out to Olivia for that. And we have a great show. Jamel, you want to tell the people about the show?
I always end up getting volunteered for stuff. It's
Oh, well,
just
then I
because of the
keep going.
hat or something. You
You
just
know,
feel me because of the hat or something. Nah,
No.
Yeah, but you know what? It's okay. We're gonna let you. People we pick on each other all the time because he's short, but it's okay.
who's short?
She did. She did us
So
like that. She went to the Gemini's like that. Come on.
he's short.
Mm.
I'm short.
But yeah, you short.
All
We'll
right.
come back to that. Let's
Yeah,
let's introduce our guest.
yeah.
But you got Lisa Ward today. I'm Lisa
And I'm
Ward,
Olivia Tashay.
And I'm Jamil, aka Doc Rock.
and we are EBD. We have a great show. Me and Olivia, this really touches home to us because we both suffered from this illness called endometriosis that a lot of women suffer from, but a lot of times they don't know they have. And we really wanted to put a platform for someone who is truly an advocate for this movement. She's an amazing person. I thought I knew everything about endometriosis. Liv, did you think you knew a lot about endo?
No, the information I got here lately, I had no idea.
So I guess we learned so much more from our guest, and she educated us, and she educated me and Liv so much that we wanted to put her in our new book that's coming out September 30th.
Yeah, you need to
If you
grab
have
it.
Yes. If you have not gotten your tickets, if you have not been following our social medias, you are missing out. September 30th is our big day for Empowered by Disadvantages, second edition, critical thinking action plan to be coming out. Um, and I'm always doing the talking. Then tell the people a little bit about the book.
Okay, you would. So,
Of course.
so the book is about coming to a middle ground for adults and little people. I want to say young adults because they are young adults. They're little adults. Um, and sometimes our youth have a hard time talking to our adults, us, me being one of them. The parents are always do as I say and not as I do type thing. Um, but this is a newer generation, and I'm not saying don't be the parent because I am a parent first, but they also have their own minds, and we want to allow them to share their minds, share their thoughts respectfully. So the book actually tells us how to meet each other in the middle. So I think it'll be a big help.
You want to add anything, Jack? Outside of
Uh,
that, your man got a trophy in L.A. We ain't gonna go there, but go ahead.
Ooh, do tell.
not a
LeBron James
trophy, it's a statue.
got a statue
Excuse me.
for what I don't know, but okay. But
Statue.
Kobe didn't
I
get a
mean, you
statue.
would think, you know what I mean, being the fact that he is on the Lakers established team, that you would think you would give him some more support, but she doesn't. So it's just like he might as well just stayed in Cleveland.
He should have.
Listen.
Yeah, he should have. But go
Even
ahead,
though
talk
he
about
helped,
the book.
even though he helped us win a ring, though. But we ain't
That
gonna talk about
helped
that.
us. You ain't Lakers.
Yes,
But
I
go ahead,
am.
finish about the book.
Anyway, so when it comes to the book, it definitely gives the voiceless or the voiceless or overlooked children a voice. Um, it actually just gives an encouragement of dialogue to help out from the norm when it comes to communicating from an instructor or a teacher or a faculty to a child that may actually just stereotypically gets thrown by the wayside because they don't actually learn under the actual regular structured curriculum. Um, but it's in story form, so you actually get to see and read uh, some of our own tests to where we turn those into testimonies. There's it.
And
Yes.
definitely September 30th is the launch day.
Yep,
You
September
live
30th.
if you
Yes.
live in Delaware where these people live, you're gonna come out to a great event, food, parking in a parking lot, not on the street.
Parking is free. Let's
Yeah.
put that out there. Parking is
And
free. I know it's hard to find parking space in Wilmington, but it's free.
yes, and you get a book, you get an autographed copy, you get to meet with us. We have some great guest speakers. We have Senator
Hoffner.
Huffner
Hoffman.
coming. She is an amazing person. She's one of the coolest. And I have to give a shout out to P, our back office producer, manager,
Yes.
who introduced us to her. And it's just a great relationship we've had. And by having her on the show, that's a great thing. So that's why we got Cleo in the building. Jamel, give her a great, intro so she can come on here and get on this platform.
All right. Well, the one thing that I could say is, from meeting Cleo, from the time we met, we've always vibed. Bright spirit, um, definitely one willing to share and help. But with her own testimony, you guys will she'll definitely have you hooked to her story. And I'm just excited to learn more about her as well as also the condition of endometriosis, because I'm a man, so we really don't experience it. We just have to be the ones to be the counterpart, to be the better half to help our mate endure it. So, without further ado, I definitely want to introduce you guys to Cleo, uh, model, actor, activist, you name it. What's up, homie?
Hi.
Hello,
Hey,
how are
everybody.
you?
I'm
Hey.
great. How are you?
Nice to have you.
It's nice to be here. I thank you for the introduction, Jamil.
Always welcome. Always welcome.
You look amazing.
Thank you. So do you all.
I'm
Thank
sorry we
you.
haven't seen you since Jersey, but it's good to. I'm glad we keep in touch with you. Um, but I know I am so excited about you being on the show to educate people about this. We've been telling people to tune in. A lot of people might tune in tonight or later on, but I know you have a lot to discuss, so we're gonna get right into it. Liv, you wanna start us off?
Yes, I'm gonna hit you with some I think serious questions.
Okay.
All right, so my first one is, what are the signs that females should possibly be looking for dealing with this type of experience?
Okay, so one big sign is like an extremely painful menstruation period, like where you're vomiting, it causes you to miss time off of work, time off of school, because like, back in the day, they used to say, oh, your menstruation is supposed to be painful. But in fact, we know now that it's only supposed to be uncomfortable and not painful. And if it's painful, that's a symptom of having endometriosis. Like,
Right.
back in the day, my grandmother used to make me go to school with Tylenol. I would go to school, pass out in the bathroom, and get sent home. But, she was a
Me
school
too.
teacher. So,
That's back in the day.
That happened to me
yeah,
too. I used to go to school every morning, get throw want to throw up and just sick to my stomach and in pain.
yeah.
Have to come home. I don't think a lot of people. I'm gonna interject for 1 second, Liv. I don't think a lot of people really understand. I know there's more symptoms, so please finish that off. But at the same time, can you let them know what endometriosis really is?
Yeah, no problem. Endometriosis is when the endometrial tissue that's supposed to be inside the uterus grows all throughout the body. It can go in your brain, your lungs, your feet, your rectum, everywhere that there's space, there's viscera. So it's a really horrendous disease because it acts more like a non malignant cancer than a regular functioning chronic pain disorder. But some of the other symptoms where you could know somebody has endometriosis would be an early menstruation is usually a tall tale sign. So, like anything younger than 13 is considered to be early
Wow, wow.
menstruation.
Yeah, I didn't even know all that.
Yeah, yeah. So, my sister, when she was younger, she was like 10 when she started her menstruation. No, not 10, 9. And she has endometriosis as well.
Wow. So can this be
I think I,
fatal? And do you feel that women are being educated enough on it?
It can be fatal if it gets in your lungs or your heart, even though it's extremely rare to have thoracic endometriosis. It is possible. I know of four of my girlfriends that actually live in Delaware that had it. And once you get it, you have to get it off because if it keeps growing in your lungs, it'll stop you from breathing. So while like not directly
Mm-hmm.
fatal, it is an offset to be morbid, fatal. Um, it's just it's not as known as it should be known because it's more common than diabetes. 176 million women have it worldwide, and
uh,
yet it's still ignored because it's not it's I mean it's more talked about now, but that's because we
Mm-hmm.
did a lot of grassrooting. But I
Well,
feel like we should be further.
I was gonna say, do you feel like the medical world is educated enough on it?
No, no.
I'm have to agree with you on that one. Absolutely.
Literally, when I went to school for my RN, there was just a little box like this big under a picture in our textbook. And that's all. That was the only thing they mentioned about endometriosis.
The funny part is I never heard about it until I actually um I had my cycle for 72 days at some point. Like it was coming on, it was going off, coming on, and we did everything. And then finally 72 days straight. And I was like, you know what? Take everything out. Like just take it all out. I was done
Right.
having kids.
Mm.
Um, and the surgery ended up being longer than what it was because my doctor at the time said I had it and they were just getting everything out in the surgery. Like I had never heard of it until that moment.
Yeah, I mean, and I'm not surprised because our community, the Black community, is very disadvantaged on endometriosis. I actually was part of a grassroots organization called Worldwide Endometriosis March. And the top doctor in the world for endometriosis, Dr. Najat, ran it. And we also conducted a study with a Howard University doctor about the disadvantages with endometriosis in the Black community because when they first started really talking about it in the 80s, it was called the rich white woman's disease because that was all
Wow.
that could afford it because a lot of the doctors it was like pioneering surgery, so they weren't willing to take welfare surgery. If you had it in the Black community, they would gaslight you into thinking that you're making more of your pain than it actually is.
Wow.
oh, so that's where the saying come from. Like, oh, it's nothing. It's just, you
Hmm.
just, thinking about it. It's not really
It's not really,
serious.
yep.
Right,
We did
because
all
they're
that.
basically saying that you don't have the money to pay for the surgery, but not saying it
Wow.
Wow.
because it's considered to be exploratory surgery to even get diagnosed unless you have like a chocolate cyst or something that's going to like stop you have pregnancy problems. That's the
Yep.
only way
That was it.
that yeah.
What's a chocolate cyst?
A chocolate cyst is a cyst that grows that has hair, teeth, all kinds of it's got poison inside of
Uh,
it.
Mm.
okay.
Oh,
We've had, but I didn't know that was the name of it. Okay. Yeah,
Yeah.
we call them.
It's all different
So
kinds. You'd be surprised.
yes, I agree. So for a male, what would you tell like people like Jamel who might have, he doesn't have daughters, but he's still a father to boys. What do men need to know that they need to take with them so they can understand how to help the female women in their life?
Um, I think that the best advice to men is to be understanding and like if you're dealing with a female that has an endometriosis, it's not just physical, it's emotional pain as well too,
hmm,
because they've lost their ability to have a baby maybe. They've lost their ability to be normal and go hang out with their friends and work like a normal human being. It's not that they want to just be sitting there crawling in pain and going to multiple surgeries and being treated like a guinea pig basically by the medical community,
right.
so be her knight in shining armor by just doing whatever you can to make her comfortable and be an ear and an ally.
but also it's very painful, and it also
It is.
causes very painful intercourse as well.
Oh
Yes,
yes,
it
it's
does.
very horrendous. I mean, you could go to physical therapy to lessen the pain with intercourse and endometriosis.
I
Um,
didn't know that.
oh
I didn't
yes,
know that
I
much.
have the
Yes.
listings. I'll give them to y'all. I have the listings for the tri-state area
I'm
for
not even
the
gonna.
PT.
So you know I'm gonna ask, right? Okay, you know I gotta be the stupid one to ask, right? What type of exercises are they gonna give
I
you
don't think you really want that answer on air, ma'am.
to
That is not something
like?
we need to be answering on air.
I
Uh,
mean, to clean
The
out.
the clean
Ma'am.
version is they help you learn how to control your pelvic muscles, learn how to massage them with a wand, as well as they have suppositories that are non-opiate that you can put in there.
I told you not to ask that question.
I didn't know this. Like, I
But
didn't
it
know that.
actually works. Like back in the day, I used to have a advice YouTube for just that for women with endometriosis, and it caught on big time.
Hmm. Yeah, I didn't know about that much.
I didn't know that one. I mean,
She is
I had
scratching
my
her
hysterectomy.
face like, oh,
I, I didn't know. When I went and had my hysterectomy, you know, they said they want to put you on hormones. So I went,
Mm,
and I'm lucky because I worked in the medical field, so I had great connections. So when I went, the lady told me, "Come here. I don't want you to. I want to talk to you." I said, "Okay." She said, "I have it too. I don't want you to. I don't think you should take this medicine."
mm.
I said, "Why?" She said, "Because it could cause cancer." And I was like, "Wow." So I said, "Okay." I said, "But it's a low dose." She said, I'm telling you, I don't think you should. I never took any hormone therapy pills or anything. And she was explaining to me how, you know, she had to use a cream
Mm.
hmm.
to help, because she was married, the cream, the estrogen cream, to help so she can be able to please her husband. And I'm like, okay, I get it. So no, and I've had been to the doctor since I was 20.
Mm.
Ain't nobody ever told me, and I've been in the doctor's office talking about this pain hurt.
Well,
Ain't nobody told
regular,
me about no physical therapy. I'm
Oh
kind of
man.
feeling some kind of
because really it goes on. You really need to see someone who only deals with endometriosis patients. It is imperative because
okay.
you could go to regular GYN, but if you're not presenting classically, and especially if you've had a hysterectomy, they're going to gaslight you and say that there's no such thing as endometriosis after hysterectomy, when in fact there is, because the endometriosis just makes its own estrogen, supply of estrogen to live off of. It doesn't matter when you take it out. It's like a parasite and a host type of situation.
So
Hmm.
our friend, our other sister, she couldn't make the show. She was saying that, so she had the hysterectomy. She still has her ovaries.
Mm.
Um,
Okay, we lost her somewhere, but I'm gonna finish
Uh-oh.
her statement. We do have a friend. She still has her ovaries, but she still suffers a lot. Like she's bent over in the bed. You can't even function for a couple of days.
What
So,
what has she done? Like as far as
um,
what kind of surgery has she had? Has she had where they burn it off, which is abulation, which is what most GYNs do?
I'm not sure what she had done yet. I guess
Okay.
I didn't really ask. I just knew that she had it. She had everything taken out outside of the ovaries. I had one ovary. I told her, and maybe for me, I still feel like I'm ovulating um,
You are.
some months. So I said that's the only pain overall that I get. But
Right.
she's like can't function, like just
Ooh.
so I don't know what other avenues she has taken outside of just seeing her endo doctor.
It sounds like she might have had ablation done, and that's a lot of doctors don't want to do the extra schooling to learn how to become exorcism certified, which is where they
Hmm.
go and they literally cut it out, because the
Oh,
problem with the ablation is when they burn it, the flames they spread the endometrial tissue further than what they need to go. So
Like a
then
oh.
you
campfire,
have,
blowing a campfire and the ash would just go everywhere.
yeah, like that.
I'm gonna have to ask her because I have no idea what she had done overall. Um, I'm
I
sure
mean,
Lisa had.
are there any kind of are there any practices that can be done, like as far as easing burden, like heat pads, ice pack?
Heating pad, heating pads help on the abdomen.
Hmm.
Um, Heating pads. I take bath in like a mineral salt soap that I do. That's
Hmm.
good for like soreness and all of that. Um,
Is it like the hotter water the better? Because you know y'all good for having just hot water for no reason anyway.
It's just yes,
exactly. I don't feel clean
yes,
until I had that water
yes. So that
steaming.
Whatever. You might as well throw a pack of hot dogs or some oodle noodles in there.
stop it. Listen, that heat be feeling so nice because I feel like my bones be cold.
No,
So
that's
that water
nerve
has to be
issues right there. That's nerve tip issues.
this.
Okay.
Right.
It's not a part of the central nervous system, so they repair themselves over time. But yes,
Oh,
y'all officially cooking. Like y'all might as well
stop
get on the
it.
rotisserie line.
Stop it. Look, I'll be having a
It
heating
feels
blanket
so
on the
good
bed,
though.
balled up
Right.
in a yes, it'd be the best feeling in the world. Like you cold? Come see me.
Right.
But yes,
Yeah.
so now is it more geared towards heat that actually kind of subdues the tension, or do ice treatments help also?
Mm,
I've never tried ice
I
because
haven't either because I don't like being cold, so I
that
wouldn't.
and the other problem is it's so deep.
Hmm.
I don't know if the ice would penetrate the muscle, the
Gotcha.
Right,
tissue.
right.
But endo is amazing because it comes in all different colors. It comes in like yellow, black. Some people like they've been burnt up on the inside. It comes in clear, white. So that's why I always advocate and say like you need an endo specialist because if you just go to regular GYN, if
Hmm.
it's not the classical color in which it presents in regular people, like you might not have the yellow fatty looking stuff like chicken fat. You might have clear. They'll look right at it and say it's not endo. I literally had that
Well,
happen.
So do they
since I've
have to
had
actually open you up to see the color, or are they able to do like an MRI, a CAT scan,
the
or
no,
only
they actually,
the only way to get diagnosed or to get treatment is surgery.
okay,
yep.
and that's how you know which color it is and what type it is and things like that?
They take
Hmm.
pictures and they
Yeah,
show you.
because that's how
um
mine was found out. It was opened up on the table.
Can y'all hear me?
Loud and
yes.
Yes.
clear.
Okay, cool. All right. Hi guys, I'm sorry.
It's okay. We was smoothing on along. You fine.
I forgot what. Yeah, continue what y'all was
You
doing.
just talk about your friend.
Well, we
You
were
just
talking
talk
about
about
your
your.
friend who has all the pain issues, and we were trying to figure out what she had done.
She
Um,
had partial hysterectomy. It's our friend Liv. Partial hysterectomy. So she still has her ovaries.
Hmm.
Yeah, and I was telling them, I said, depending on what method her doctor chose, which I can tell you now, if they're just a regular GYN with a specialty that they call themselves of endometriosis, then they more than likely did ovulation because a lot of the doctors don't want to take the extra schooling for excision surgery to become certified, but excision is literally where they cut it out, so they stop it right there. That's what I've had done.
yeah,
Okay.
I think I was fortunate
And
because my
then
doctor did the same thing, I believe.
right, some of them are versed and some of them are not.
Yeah, went
Um,
to a specialist, and I think she went to a regular. I think after the surgery, and it wasn't. She was in so much pain, like she's still in pain. Um, she finally went to a specialist, and she started taking the shots. But then the shots
mm,
became unaffordable. I think she might go back to them, but she's on some other medicine now. So she was thinking about doing the removal of the ovaries, but I told her to speak to you. So I'm gonna make sure that y'all, get in contact and things like that. So hopefully you can help
yeah,
so she can like have a normal life. The great thing is she doesn't want any. I don't think she. I mean, she doesn't want any more kids.
Mm-mm.
So it's just she's just
okay.
suffering every day. So
It's more than likely the ovaries because they are still making
the estrogen,
estrogen.
right?
Hmm.
But like when I went into surgery and had my hysterectomy, so long story short, I'm gonna give you the short version. I had an endo surgery like a year before, and I bled from the endo surgery to the time I said I just want to have a hysterectomy.
Wow.
And then they found out, like at the first endo surgery, they said, "Oh, there's nothing wrong with your uterus. Everything's good." So when we went and did the hysterectomy and they took my uterus out, it was the size of a
Mm-hmm.
9-month pregnant
Oh
woman
wow.
and had the adenomyosis inside the wall of the uterus. So that's why I was in so much
I
pain.
think she has
So,
Adenomyosis,
that too. She said something like that. She has
yeah,
two versions.
adenomyosis. It's where the endometrial tissue starts growing inside the wall of the uterus, and so it makes the uterus really
And
heavy
tender and
and
sore.
all the time.
Yeah,
There's no
so
cure for it but a
no.
hysterectomy.
And just all that bleeding alone, it hurts after a while. Like it's just like you sneeze and everything hurts. So you're just like, okay.
Yep, just being alive hurt at that moment.
now, question: with 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 the disease, is it something that is guaranteed hereditary, or is it something that's like rolling the dice, or it's just a heightened chance that a daughter would get it if the mother had it?
That's the thing. They don't know what causes it, like as far as the
Mm-hmm.
origins. We know what it's not, which is like STDs, blah blah
Right.
blah, because they've literally had fetuses that they found with endometriosis to have inside of them.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So, um, it's kind of like it's the study of endometriosis seems to be in its infancy, which is so weird in 2023. You know, we know more about Viagra
Mm.
than we do a common
Y'all can
problem that
have that
afflicts most
Viagra.
women.
I'm good. So good.
So, but I think, you know, if we continue to study it and we have like real women talking about what they live with and go through and express to these doctors and the husbands and the families that go through this stuff with them, if, you know, we get angry enough, I think we'll move a little bit further.
Right.
And I think that we have to stop pretending that it's a normal thing for young women to have bad periods. I think that parents are so quick to be like, "Oh, my daughter's fine. It's not that serious. She's gonna be okay." And
Mm,
and I know the longer every time she has a cycle, the more damage it's creating to her body.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
mm-hmm.
how does someone Liv? Do you have anything else to ask her before I ask another question? Because I know you
No,
want
you're
to
good, honey. Go ahead.
did how does someone, let's say we want to get involved and be an advocate, how does someone become an advocate of endometriosis? How does somebody get involved like you are with the great work you're doing?
What I did was I just found Facebook groups that were like really with it. Like it was between Worldwide Endometriosis Fund and another one called the Endometriosis Foundation or Foundation of America, the
Okay.
EFA. They have a Blossom Ball every year in March, and Whoopi Goldberg and stars that also have endometriosis attend. I think how you could get involved though is starting by Facebook or going to the EFA website,
Mm-hmm.
and they'll have different like the Endometriosis Foundation of America actually will send you a package, especially if you're interested in going to schools and teaching younger girls about endometriosis.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, well,
Okay.
definitely give us that information so we can, hopefully participate in that
Yeah,
as
because
possible.
I have a 12. No, what is she? She's not 12. She's 14 here. So just to
You
keep an
you
eye
know
out.
at the
Listen.
end,
Huh?
Yeah, no
and why
problem.
you trying to push her down?
I know, right? Because she growing too fast. That's why.
Okay,
Mhm.
but
no,
the what you said, Jimbo?
no, I was about. Go ahead. Finish what you was about to ask.
No, I mean, I'm an endometriosis person. I got like 10,000 questions. Go ahead.
Um, with endo affecting the reproductive organ, and I know that the condition I know would enhance the chances of miscarrying. Is it still possible, even if you had miscarriages, to where you like just can't count yourself out and still actually have a successful pregnancy?
Yep, I had 3.
Yeah. Yep, I was gonna say I had 4.
And does it get worse every pregnancy, or can it,
It can get better.
No,
It
well, I think
varies
it
from woman to
varies.
woman.
Yeah,
Mine's got
because mine's
worse.
got worse. So I think it's just the
Mine's went through the
individual.
roof.
Yeah, that's why I said it depends. Like, there's a saying
Hmm.
too. Like, there's women who've never had it, and then they got pregnant. And I don't know if she could. And pregnancy also is a trigger too. I don't know,
Hmm.
but trigger is trigger.
Well, it's really traumatic on the body. A
Yeah.
woman really goes through death when they're bringing another life in here. Like they're so close to death. It's the closest you'll ever
my
get.
mother
Yep.
passed. She remembered her
Oh,
crossover experience and everything.
Wow.
Mm.
wow.
I
Hmm.
think it's hard for, y'all was like, you and Liv had the opportunity to, to actually give birth to children, and I wasn't that lucky. So for me,
Well,
Okay,
Oh,
so she wasn't that lucky. Um, but she does have kids. So she was still fortunate enough
yeah.
to be a parent. Go
There
ahead.
goes.
Go ahead. You can
yeah,
finish my sentence now.
she's right. I mean, I have some beautiful, beautiful kids, my son and my daughter. But it took
Amen.
it still has a toll on you, because you want to have that. I don't I don't want to say that because I don't want to hurt my kids. I would
No,
just
okay, so I know what you're saying,
You want to have that experience.
but I
I know
promise
what
you,
you
you're not
mean.
missing anything. Trust me when I tell you, you're
Right.
not missing much. The pain on your back and the whole thing of you just spreading open for a little body, no, you're not missing much.
I think the other part is the fact that I don't like sharing my kids, and sometimes I have to share my daughter. My son, I do and I don't. He is his birth parents are deceased, but his one of his sisters raised him for a certain period of time, and then I took over. So sometimes I don't want to share my son,
That's okay.
and I think that's the hardest part. So if it was like totally out of my body, I wouldn't have to share them. But now I can. You can never tell that my son is not my son. Like, he's so much like me.
Hmm.
that's a fact.
Yes, he
He-
is. I have to agree with you there.
that's good or bad, Liv, because he likes you.
No, that's a good thing.
Oh,
No,
okay.
that is
I
a
think
good
that's why
thing.
I get along
I'm
with him
just.
so well.
Yeah. But
Hmm.
a lot of women. It took me, like, even the other day, I just saw a little baby, and it still hurts me. Like, oh, it's still, I get that itch.
And it
Listen,
will, because it's like a lot to do with our society and conditioning and the importance that they put on a woman to reproduce.
Right, right.
so my thing is, no, you didn't naturally have a baby, but God put kids in your life, so you were still a mother when it's all said and done.
Yeah.
So,
Hmm.
You read the based on our relationship, and our new friendship, we had to create another chapter just about endometriosis because of you. So I can publicly say
Thank
the chapter
you.
was birthed because of our relationship. What did you think? Since you got a sneak peek, you could tell the world, what do you think about, how did you feel about the chapter, and do you think we did good, and so forth?
Yeah, I like that. I think it's interesting and it's good to put endometriosis out there, and definitely to talk about your experience with it, because we need more of those experiences told. So I'm saying kudos to y'all, because I love it. I love
thanks.
all the literature and the movies and everything that's coming out on endometriosis, because
Oh, that's
the way that we combat this is more education,
Yes,
so that we can figure out the origins. Because
because
they had women. This goes back to early period, the first period, like first man, almost back to Mesopotamia. Endometriosis is not new. It's something that's been going on for millennia. Like, they had Egyptians that would crawl to the doctor's office, the women, because they were having abdomen pain.
and the sad part is I didn't know about it until I was 30. Like I was over 30 before I even found out about it. I was like, what?
It's the way that they didn't really educate. Like, we're just now getting into schools, we're
Right.
just now starting to honestly openly talk about menstruation, because society has made it this icky dirty thing, so
Hmm.
nobody really wanted to talk about it.
I think it's sad that men, uh, and vice versa. I think that as us, as young people in the school systems, I tell men all the time, you need to know the parts of a woman. outside the part that you need to use.
Mm-hmm.
So because you have
Mhm.
a daughter, you need to know what ovaries do,
Right.
and mothers need to know about men's parts and what they are for, and the prostate and all that. And it's sad
Yeah.
because some women don't know. I had a young lady tell me she didn't even know she had ovaries.
Wow.
Oh
Like,
wow.
what? What do you mean you didn't know you had? Your mama didn't tell you? She was like, I said, you didn't learn that at school? She said, no. And then I asked my godson, I said, y'all didn't learn this in school? And they said, no, it's just sex education. I'm like, well, isn't sex education about teaching you about the body?
Right.
Right.
Which exactly are you
So
learning?
what
Listen,
part they
Alex.
doing the simple stuff? I mean,
No, well, I guess it
Right.
depends on schools because Alex's school did it all to where like she had videotaped it, and I was like, "Where'd you get that fake penis from?" Like for real. Like she's like, "Mom," I was like, or
Yeah,
when that time
definitely.
of the month, she's like, "Mom, them boys know we got that little pouch in our hand. They know what time it is. They better not say anything to us." I said, "Okay,
oh,
all
that's
right."
I
cool.
think it really just depends on the circle that you're in. Just because of the fact that I know that the men that were in my like the older men or the mentor figures in my life, they were all secure men. So when it came to talking about menstrual cycles and periods and all that other stuff, it was never taboo or something that was like, oh, a guy would get yucked out about.
Right.
It was something that was just always open because most of the guys that I was around, we only had our mothers and aunts around,
Mm-hmm.
maybe a handful of uncles, but it was mostly guys in the street. But it was like, okay, well, if you embracing a chick because that's all that you're around is women, yeah, these are some of the things you need to learn.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
So you went to the store, Jamel, and lived as
yeah,
a good.
that's nothing.
Does your husband go to the store? Do y'all go to the store and get the pads?
Yeah, I know what. Look, I'll be up there
Listen.
like pads, tampons. What you want? Is it a heavy one this time? Do you need something? You need extra? You know what I mean? Like extra? Is this gonna be a
See, that's
lightweight?
we need more of
Me
You
and
know what I'm
that.
saying?
yes, don't
Like, what color? What color would you like? Did you want something fancy? I know you
don't
want
forget the baby
plastic,
wipes.
cardboard.
Let's
Yeah,
not forget the wipes.
right.
Right, all of it. Chocolate too.
Yeah,
Yep.
so that was yeah, that was nothing for me. Well, I have thick skin and I don't get embarrassed, so this is like, yeah, it's whatever. And then you know what I mean. So
Because
that
it's
was
a
like,
natural thing. It's something that happens every month. It happens.
Right.
So
right
I mean,
It's
now. I
supposed to
hate to be
happen.
that guy, but I do have to bring this up because we did talk about sex. We just dabbed on it, but the thing is, you're with a mate.
right.
What can you do as far as maneuvering to ease the burden when having sex? Is I mean, like, because I know, well, me just thinking, just naturally thinking, right? Because I'm an ergonomics and analytical type of person. So if you're having this kind of discomfort when you have sex, so that probably means the farther that you go in, the more it's going to hurt, right?
For me,
Mm,
I
I'm
could
gonna
say,
say for me, mine's was like literally right after. Like I would be bent over in so much pain right after.
Okay,
Um,
so it wasn't actually during the actual act; it would have been after.
not all the time,
well, that's live. Like me,
but everybody was different.
yeah,
Everybody's different.
Mhm.
me,
Yeah, that's the problem with endometriosis. Everybody's different and display different
right. Like
problems.
for me, afterwards, it was painful. Like it was ready to like drop. Like, oh, let's
Yeah,
don't
like I'm
don't
done.
doing that no more.
I mean, it was
Like
different. It was
the
just like
pain
being
is,
stabbed by a knife.
yeah, that like the pain is just something you can't even describe some days. You're just like, okay, take a deep
Yeah.
breath and breathe.
Right, but
I
I'm
would say
thinking
that
like,
about the lining of a woman's body on some women because after hysterectomy, now I don't know about before, but after the hysterectomy, there's a they call it like a rubber band around the entrance that becomes very sensitive.
mm-hmm,
So for some women, that's why they need extra drink cream to put around there. So this way it's easier for a female. But we're talking about as soon as you try, it can be very painful. Like,
Hmm.
and nobody
Hmm.
wants you to touch them because
Like, nope, we
every
done.
motion is a painful motion. Think about, when you on the chalkboard and you hear that squeaking sound.
mm-hmm.
Okay, there you go.
But right,
Right.
so you all actually had it to where y'all felt the discomfort afterwards.
No, mine
Right.
was before. Oh, you mean
No.
Well,
menstruation after
you can
that?
have the pain any like let's
No, I'm talking about
pain
in
can come in,
regards to
but you're talking about
I'm
it.
just talking.
It depends.
Yeah, I'm just
It
talking.
could
I'm
be
just talking to
during. It
source.
can be
Yeah.
during. It can be after. It just depends on that moment, probably most of the time, or
It's pretty much
it's
whatever endometriosis decides for
yeah.
that night.
Yeah.
And again,
It's not always either.
she. I look at it like she's a woman. She changes her mind, so I'm gonna give you aggravation at this moment. So
But I will say it
And a lot of the
definitely can
pain,
change a relationship. You have
definitely
to have
it
an
can.
understanding partner.
patience.
Mine changed tremendously. Like I had to stop.
Yeah,
So,
I have a boy who his wife has it. They have 3 kids, and it was like it got worse after it got worse with the first and second, and then once
Hmm.
they had the third, it wasn't as bad. Like
mm,
it stepped back, but he was saying like because of the fact that one monkey don't stop no show in their household, they was like the most effective thing that he actually was using. Um, he actually put a bumper, like a little donut, on his penis, so he wouldn't go in as far.
Oh, that's
Well,
creative.
Um,
yeah,
and then they also use pillows
mm.
because,
pillows do help
like
Hmm.
because
changing
of the
the angle,
alignment of the
right?
pelvis.
So yeah, so like
So
changing
you're
the
just
angle. So
lined up with each other.
yeah, yeah. He
Yeah,
said
because
like the pillows
a
help.
lot of times the thing that goes with endometriosis is pelvic floor dysfunction.
Hmm.
Mm,
And that's what's causing the pain, and that's what the physical therapy part helps with because literally your muscles are like fighting against each other. Like it's a frayed basket basically happening.
Mm.
yeah,
And that relieves all of that. It does because I
Yeah.
did it for like a couple years. It does.
yep. So yeah, my boy was like, yeah, he's like the pillows work. Said doggy style is out, but they do.
I'm sorry.
It's like doggy style. I was like, it was like the way he listed it almost sounded like he was like navigating through an amusement park. He was like, got bumpers,
It's like that, man.
pillows, towels, uh,
You're making
and
my back hurt just thinking about
he,
Okay.
then he was like, and then from there, because of the fact that they really did get candid with it, they was like, yeah, you know what I mean? It's like, I we got to do sideways more often and da 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 da. So that they was really getting,
Yeah, spooning
Yeah.
helps.
yeah. So they were saying like different things that actually helped to get around it because they were like they were used to it, and then from there, I think would also with their with her trajectory of the pain, it was like okay, they actually seen where at one point it seemed like nothing was helping, and then from there, once she had a third child, and the endometriosis effect wasn't as intense. I mean, it's still bad, but it wasn't as
Hmm.
intense. They were actually starting to see some of their practices feel more effective because of the fact that it toned down the hair.
Right.
Well,
Because believe it or not, it'll make you not want to do
Well,
anything. You'd be like, you know what? I'm not even feeling it. I'm good. I don't need to have any
yeah,
type of. We good.
yeah. That's why I'm mad. I
yeah,
didn't know
well,
about no physical therapy. I think they cheated me, but it's all right. You know.
Yeah, I knew about the physical
oh yeah,
therapy.
pelvic floor physical therapy. Yeah, it's
Watch,
the
she's gonna
best
go
too.
Google that tonight, and she is about to have a hell of
No,
an
I'm
education tonight.
gonna be like, why y'all
So,
ain't talking about, PT? You talking about PT for my neck, my
Who
shoulder,
knew?
you
You
you know
can get
that meme
physical
with
therapy
Kermit
for
the Frog.
anything.
You know that meme with Kermit the
Right?
Frog when he's up there typing all hard on the typewriter.
Hmm.
That's what I'm going to be hearing tonight.
know, PT
Yup.
for
She
Yep.
like,
but,
did you know? Like, get off the internet. I need you to get off the internet, like right now.
listen,
Right.
man, y'all just schooled me. I'm just gonna call my doctor and be like, y'all gave me like a good 5 years of I could have
I,
like been trying to emphasize here,
I
like
mean, you can still emphasize if you like, just to try
Yeah,
it
you
out,
can
see what it
still
is. You
do
can
it.
still do it.
that's okay.
Yeah.
I'm on another team. It's okay.
You got that.
Yeah,
You got that.
I'm
I
good.
was gonna say something smart, but I won't. I'm gonna leave that where it is.
I'm good. But Cleo, I think this is our most funniest show and educated at the same time. I would say
That's
our
good.
show is definitely about the most empowered, the most disadvantaged that you went through, but what was the advantage? So we already know your disadvantage that you went through, how you still suffering, how you've been through. How many surgeries have you had?
Oh, over 10 abdomen
Jesus.
surgeries.
And that's not good on your body either, just with the
No.
scar tissuing and things like that. That alone.
No, that's why I refuse to get another one. I
Yeah,
don't
that's
care. Like I've had offers from the big doctors in Atlanta,
hmm
Dr. Sinervo. I've had Dr. Skin up in New York, but no, I don't want any more skin tissue.
yeah.
I mean, scar tissue
The scar tissue
inside
alone
Yeah,
can cause a
and
lot of pain.
adhesions.
yeah, they
Yeah.
Yeah.
to touch me now. So I asked that because out of everything you've been through, what
Mm.
is the most positive thing that has come out of this for you? By being
The most
chosen to be an endometriosis carrier, what was the good that came out of this?
The good that God gave to me via through endometriosis is it showed me how strong I was. Like literally, I didn't know I was this strong. I didn't know I was strong enough to like go through multiple surgeries, come out and still be a mother, still take care of things that I need to take care of. So like, sometimes I feel sorry for myself. I am still human. But for the most part, I use endometriosis to my advantage and to reach other women and show them that they're not alone and just do, advocacy via that way. I've talked to women from all over the world at all different times of night.
hmm
Didn't matter. I told them to call me. I used to send positive affirmations overseas. I still have some of those things because I've saved all of it. So, and for that for me is rewarding because I was going to school for my RN, and because of endometriosis I've been off of school because of endometriosis
hmm
and its minions that come along with it. So instead of wallowing in self-pity and just laying in bed and not doing anything, I've made that time to do advocacy, and through that I've reached a lot of people, and that makes me happy.
That's
That's
good.
awesome.
I say women are built different. We are truly built different.
We are.
Well, I think that this was one of our greatest shows. I think that we truly appreciate you coming on, taking the time to come and talk to our audience, and hopefully your audience got some more, information from us as well.
Yeah.
Um, we're just, looking forward to just building more with you, Cleo, and just having a great relationship.
Absolutely.
And definitely have you back
Sure.
on again, even though you came on with this topic. I think it's just something that we need to continuously share with our viewers on different platforms. So, we would definitely have you again and stuff. So we truly appreciate you. Guys, y'all have anything
Okay.
y'all want to say?
I just want
No,
to say
just thank
thank
you so
you. Yeah.
much. Like this was
No
this was a
problem.
joy. I enjoy this.
No problem. I enjoyed myself as well too, and thank you for having me.
Not a
Oh,
That's,
problem.
thank you,
all right, guys. Well,
No
you
problem.
got Lisa Ward.
Got
Jamil.
Olivia Tashay. You were too slow, Jabel.
Yep, and Jamil, aka Doc Rock. It's all right. It's ladies first.
We're going to be back the next episode, but thanks for tuning in. Make sure you keep following us. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. And again, if you haven't got your tickets for September 30th, make sure you do hit all of our platforms. And Cleo, you coming to the September 30th event?
Yes, I should be there.
I
All right.
September 30th event.
Make sure you send her the link
She
if
got
you
it.
Yeah.
haven't. Okay.
I got it.
All
I
right.
got it. I'm about to get my ticket.
All
Guys,
right.
yes, tell your people get the
Okay.
tickets and stuff. But guys, we out. It's always a pleasure.
Okay.
EBD, and we out. Have a good night.
Good night.
Toodles.